Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joshua Chastain here with the W.L.L show once again. I have a very special treat for you guys today. I'm here with Jess, and she is a small business owner here in Lawrence. Jess, tell us a little bit about yourself, and please tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Hi there. We've me and my husband actually moved here in 2007. We've been here about 12 years in Lawrence, and where I'm originally from Metro Atlanta, moved up here just kind of as a way to get out of Atlanta. Fell in love with a little old craftsman house here in Lawrence, right off the square, and we've kind of set our roots down here and started raising our daughter. And in the midst of all that, I've started a small business. My jewelry business is MysticSoul, and I produce hand-stamped jewelry, and all of that is really just kind of focused on items that speak to your soul and items that are something you're going to look down at and they're really going to bring meaning to your life and remind you that, you can get through whatever you're going through and work through any problems you have. And we just really enjoy stamping those, different Bible verses, phrases that have meaning to you, even personalized items. And we've started doing that in 2011. And it's kind of just grown from then. It's become my full-time business in 2014. And, we just love what we're doing.
Now, I know that I walked down to the square, and with my last interview that I had with Square Roots, I noticed some of your stuff in there. Is there any other shops that you have your product line and your jewelry inside of besides Square Roots on the square?
I don't here locally. I have a wholesale account that's in Port Aransas, Texas. They're a coastal town, and that's been something that's come about this year. I also have a shop up north and then another shop in Texas as well. But that's the only one I have here locally.
That's awesome. You're spread out throughout the country. That really shows that obviously you know what you're doing because, people obviously want to buy and wholesale your product. So, if it sells and it's a good business, why not do it? I know that you've been in business for a while and you've lived in Lawrence for a little while. What in the square and throughout the community itself, what changes have you seen over the last, let's say, 4 to 5 years that have really been a negative in the square and also within Lawrence County as a whole?
Oh, geez. That's a tough question. With the square, I try to think of the things that maybe are kind of leaning more towards a positive direction for the square. So I think I'm going to go that route instead. I've seen in the course of us living here, like I said, for 12 years, I've seen a lot of shops come in and out of the square. There was a little gift shop that's come out of the square, and we're hopefully about to get some sort of little brewery in that same shop. And, it just seems like I wish there was really more people that would go to the square because I think there's a lot of potential there. And I think some of the shops could really use the business. There's been some that have opened up for, minimal amount of time, unfortunately. Even some that had, some grant funding from Main Street Lawrence that unfortunately it didn't work out. And, of course, I don't know the exact details of that, but I know that, as Lawrence County and Lawrence City residents, we really need to focus more on trying to buy from local shops and local makers and instead of going to Greenville or Simpsonville. And I think if we did that, then you'd have more folks that would look to invest into downtown Lawrence and put their shops on the square or their businesses on the square. So I'm hopeful, especially with Mayor Sin, that that's coming to fruition.
I agree. A small side note, I was actually downtown on the square this past Friday getting my daily coffee at the Coffee Roost. And me and my wife both got to see our wonderful mayor, group of investors around. So again, it's always nice to see when the people who are in the highest part are doing their job to help the community and it's also nice to know that we have support from local small businesses all the way up to the top. And, as a community, we all have to go together. That's how things will have to be.
And it's funny you mentioned Friday because I saw Mayor Sin and those two gentlemen that were with him as well. And, I have a friend that actually owns a medicinal herb farm in Gray Court. And a lot of people don't know about her. So she had lived on the square, I believe 10 years ago and hadn't really been to the square. Even though she lives in Gray Court, had not been to the square in 10 years. So I suggested when we were meeting, let's go to the square and eat at Roma's. Went over there and ate. And then we just kind of proceeded to walk around for like 2 hours. The little shops even I hadn't been in. We went down, had, a little snack at the Mennonite Bakery, and then walked. She showed me where she used to live, and it was just even eye-opening from my perspective, and her telling me about kind of how it was 10 years ago.
It's interesting to hear about the older generations that are still here in Lawrence when they talk about the square. It's a great treat to hear them talk about the history and everything else. However, I will say this: in the last 12 years that you've been here, I know that you've been to the square multiple times, and you've been to some of these local events and everything. How do you feel? How strongly do you feel that these events are a success for local business?
You mean as far how much do they draw in folks to these
Mm-hmm.
shops?
Yes, exactly.
Now, since I started selling in Square Roots Homes Photography, I participated in Sip and Stroll myself, and I was set up in their shop. And that I would think that's probably the biggest event they do during the spring and summertime. And, I had so many people that came in and just had never heard of me. So even not only, of course, as a business, you want to make sales, but also, just getting your name out there sometimes is wonderful. And I think that it draws people into the community that are looking for live music. I love live music too. So I know that, that's going to be a huge draw for me downtown. So I know that's bringing other folks down, and it's going to bring some, recognition to the other shops there. They seem to be pretty busy, so I'm hopeful that helps.
I know we went to the last Finally Friday. I think it was pretty much the block party where they had the live DJ and everything else, and we really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the turnout that was there. It showed a lot of potential for our small square and for our community itself. We just need to get the right people and the right businesses to come here and move in. Now back to your business. I know. Now I'm looking at your arm right now. Is that some of the stuff that you have done yourself?
Yes, it is. This is my stamped cuff bracelets. I have one that's a lunar phase. I'm sorry, not phrase. The other's a phrase. This is a lunar cuff bracelet, and actually those are available at Square Roots. I believe W.L.L still has some of those there. And then a lot of my items also are stamped with different phrases. And it just kind of depends on, some of them are, kind of more a play on words. Some of them have more meaning, and some of them are just kind of, funny little phrases and stuff. I also am getting more into things like what I'm wearing around my neck, which is stone setting, and then doing the stamping on the back as well. That's not as, it's kind of a newer technique for me, and it's something that brings a little bit of difference to my jewelry. So.
And guys, when I say that these pieces are very beautiful, I mean they are very, very, very beautiful. And when this show is over, I fully intend on placing an order for possibly some W.L.L cuffs for myself and for my wife, because I love shopping local, and I also like the way these look, and I feel like it'd be a good conversation piece on top of it when I go to any other interviews to also help spread her business as well as help get my name out there a little bit too. I'm going to have one more question for you, and then we're going to end on that one. Where do you see your business progressing towards? Are you at your high point, or do you want more?
This is a loaded question. I wasn't sure if we were going to get here. So, it's really funny how life works out sometimes. Last year, I had the opportunity to be part of a showroom in Atlanta at America's Mart, which, for all intents and purposes, would probably be the height of most people's business. It's one of the biggest markets in the country for wholesale. And, I participated in 6 markets there, and it wasn't what I wanted. Hunter Holmes actually said it best. I was talking to him the other day, and there's really not a whole lot of focus on relationship building in a situation like that. And as a person, that matters to me, and that's more what I want. So I decided that's definitely not the route I want to go. I'd rather build relationships with smaller businesses, with folks, like Square Roots that are on the square, and even, branching out to other, places, other states, as I mentioned before. I definitely don't think I'm at the height of my success. I also have a 9-year-old daughter that I homeschool, so I've had to kind of scale back business a little bit because her needs are a little bit more important right now. But I would really just like to add some more wholesale accounts with smaller companies and just kind of see where that goes.
That would be a great way to go, especially when you have kids.
Right.
Which I'm excited to have one of my own for long. Again, everybody, this is the W.L.L show, and we love Lawrence, and y'all guys go and please share this. Please go like our Facebook page. Please go like her Instagram and her Facebook page. We will add her link on top of ours on our Facebook page as well as on her Instagram page. Y'all go give her business a shout out, and y'all go, keep shopping local, and always remember, everybody, we love Lawrence.